Welcome to the KINJAZ Podcast. Here we will discuss dance, life, and whatever the we want.
Folks, welcome back to the KINJAZ Podcast, Movement in the Shadows. We are your hosts, Ben
and Anthony.
And we have a very, very special episode. The episode that nobody asked for, but we know that at least the dance community would be very appreciative. We've been actually hanging out for over an hour now, just catching up, with these individuals. We have a special co-host today, but we're gonna reveal him after this. But we have a lot of history with these individuals,
And a lot of beef.
So
So we came here to just square it up. I mean, clear the air. That's what I meant. Square it up means fight, right?
yes.
We're gonna battle. Again,
Right,
stop laughing, dude. We haven't introed you yet.
Sorry.
Just can't reveal it yet. Edit
that out. Sorry.
I love how everyone's already just in it. So we're gonna fly off script for this episode because this is a very special episode. Very good friends of ours. We have America's bestest dance crew.
Come on.
The only crew that's won the show twice. Season 3 and 8 winners. We have Hawk, Ryanimay, D-trix of Quest Crew.
Bam, 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 bam.
We in here.
With our special co-host today, Mr. Mike Song, because we know that we're gonna get into it. Mike had to be here. Okay. So go ahead and introduce yourselves for the vocal affirmation so everybody can know who we're roasting on in a bit.
Oh, all right,
Might be a big
yeah.
roast.
What's up, everyone? This is Hawk.
Hey, this is Ryanimay.
It's your boy D-trix.
And this is Mike Song.
Hey yo.
Wow.
Mike's in Quest Crew now.
He's on the other side.
Yep, right here.
Sorry to break it to you.
Man, you know what? It's funny that, as we were hanging out upstairs, we're here at our studio, which happens to be
A basement.
a basement. But we're hanging out and we realize as friends, we haven't even hung out together. And then we're like, how have we not done a Kinjaz Quest thing?
Because all the beef for all the years, right?
Yeah, it's awkward, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
But I
It
feel
really
like we've grown up now, most of us are in our early 50s and
60s.
yeah.
Early
And it's
60s.
really just time to kind of just clear the air and really just bring everybody together, recap on, an amazing legendary moment in our lives, ABDC, one of the most amazing dance platforms that ever be built for Asians.
Shout out to Randy Jackson for that.
Hey, low key though.
Right?
Low key.
I mean,
Yeah.
you ended up hella high, and I was like,
I mean,
Asians.
Asian's Best Dance Crew. Asian's Best Dance Crew.
Asians
By
best
Randy
dance.
Jackson.
Asian American best dance.
Was Randy
Yeah,
Jackson
man.
still technically a part of it in our 8th season?
Oh, maybe not.
I don't think so.
maybe
His
not.
name was
I
on
don't
it.
remember.
Yeah.
First of all, there was the Mario Lopez wasn't there, so I was like,
Right.
this is different.
Oh, yeah.
His
It
name
was
on the
Jason
thing.
Dundas, right?
Yeah, he was
All the
on
judges were
this.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was different.
It wasn't teachers judging.
No, I was judging.
Judging hard.
Okay, so we never come back together to even talk about or recap that time, and that was a fucking fun ass time, and I'm sure so many people don't care about what we're about to talk about, but it's great
It's like
because
5 years
it's
too
been-
late.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, it's 7 years. It's been 7
For
years.
real,
Yeah.
though. Oh my gosh.
What was that?
Like, we weren't even born yet.
Even at the peak of the show, no one was watching
Yeah,
either.
true
So
that.
it's like,
True that.
it's specific. It's very
MTV
specific.
had a show.
Yeah.
But
MTV's
that-
still alive?
But season 8 somehow I feel like was one of the sickest seasons
I
that
thought so.
like
Yeah.
in
Such
terms
a
of
shame,
yeah.
I feel like no one
And they
saw
didn't
it.
put a lot of marketing behind it.
Material-wise,
It's,
people.
yeah,
made
I
some
think
good
content.
shit.
Yeah, the content was crazy. But I mean, so the great thing is individually, each of you guys have been on the KINJAZ podcast. So thank you guys. This is our season 2. And but we have never been able to have a Quest Crew conversation. So let's get into more of just give us a brief history, however deep you want to go with how Quest came about. And then we'll get to all the ABDC stuff.
Oh God. So I think the short version would be some of us used to dance together with a group called Six Step, and we broke off from that. We wanted to make something new. It was just like gathering your friends. It became Quest Crew. I think we picked up D-trix on the way a couple of years into
Just on the
it.
street.
Yeah, homeless, looking for a place.
Thursday night.
All right.
Fucking air flare.
I got airplay.
No, yeah, but basically it was just like a group of friends that trained together.
Mhm.
You know, we're in the scene. We ended up, maybe half of us, we always like battling. We came from that scene, so we had that competitive mentality. And I think it worked for shows like ABDC. We all, super hungry about it. But yeah, that's pretty much, I feel like.
That's
how
what it
went.
is. That's what's up. Do you guys claim that you're like part of, like from a certain part of town? Are you guys like based all over?
Quest Learning Center in, or whatever.
Yeah, we never had like a specific city, but I think our hub was Artesia. That's where we would train the most, but everybody was from all over.
On the show, we had to say, we are Quest Crew from LA.
No, it wasn't.
Or no, you would say Los Angeles.
Oh, he
No,
did say that.
yeah. I thought they put like a random.
No, they would change it all the
Right,
time.
It was
yeah.
it turned into like West
We
Coast.
came back and then they said we were from Orange County.
Yeah.
I think they stopped it once they realized everybody that won was all from like the LA dance community.
Yeah, they didn't want everybody being
We
from
are
LA.
from the
yeah.
community. like they're like the
Yeah,
always
just
say
keep switching
winners.
it.
Dang.
So Van Nuys.
But yeah, we don't have a
Got it,
turf.
got it. Okay,
No.
okay.
We're
Just
from
from all over.
We
Everywhere.
don't patrol like one block.
Uh-huh.
And how, like, what was the formation of it? I mean, I know you guys said some of you guys from Six Step.
Yeah.
Who was the one who was kind of the ringleader of
I think everything started just me and him meeting.
Oh,
That's
word.
it. Like we met up and then we just wanted to do more activities together. Honestly,
Yeah.
we're like the laziest bunch of dudes. That dance is just one of the things that we did together. Otherwise, it was just playing video games. And then we decided to join the same team. And then from there, we made friends. And then when that shit went bad and all the drama happened, me and him left. And we
We talking
said,
about Six Step?
yeah.
Oh, was I supposed to not clarify?
No, let's
anti-sat. Anti-sat. Go ahead, clarify.
It's ancient
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
but
What was
yeah.
the drama?
We joined Six Step, and then we used to think Six Step was super whack. I used to go to dance events for like a couple years in a row and just talk shit about Six Step. I was like, these guys fucking suck. And then we finally just randomly met them, and I was like, oh, they're really nice guys. and then like me and Hawk, they were just so friendly to us. And then I was telling Hawk, hey man, you know those guys that we said sucked? Like, they're so cool. Why don't we join them and make them not suck as much?
Damn, that's fucking confident as fuck.
Confidence is a really safe word.
Yeah,
for you,
because
dude.
like,
Cocky as fuck.
because I knew that, like, you know,
I mean, it's kind of true though.
I still knew
feel
we had a
like-
lot to offer them,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I could see what their formula was and where we would fit in.
Yeah.
So we got in there, we started doing shows with them. We just had a freaking great time. They were awesome friends. Every one of those people were just great until one dude wasn't.
We won't say names, Devin.
What is your
Just the guy that doesn't know.
No, yeah. It was the leader. The leader at the time, his name was Devin. I don't know. We didn't understand how money worked at the time. We started winning a decent amount of competitions, and I guess we were always thinking that money was just in a safe somewhere or something, because we're like, man, we've racked up like this much, and what are we gonna do with it? How are we gonna? And then like one day we started talking about what we were gonna use it for, and then Devin was like, oh yeah, no, that's all gone, man. Like, it's gone.
It was in a safe, safely in his pocket.
He was like, oh, I have to use it for expenses, and like, you know, like those. And we were like, what expenses do we have? We're fucking Six Step, what the fuck?
Costumes, bro, costumes.
Yeah.
But it's poor communication.
Mm.
We didn't know better. There's no contracts, you know. You're just doing it as friends, and
Yeah, it's funny now. At the time, it wasn't though. 'Cause
Yeah,
me and
yeah.
him were
We were
pissed.
so pissed.
And then we were like,
God.
we're quitting.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to do what we're gonna do can come with us. And then like, that's exactly how it happened.
Wow.
Steve came with us. Gerardo came with us. Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just like broke off, and then we walked off all confident, but we had no idea what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
So Victor didn't end up doing it because I think at this time I was in a crew called Flexible Flame. Like at the time, you guys know that, but which was also a crew for Victor. Like our junior crew Victor was in it, and I got to know Anthony and Mike actually before I met you guys. And I remember at the time I was like, I really want to move to LA. And I really wanted to be in Six Step because of like Victor.
Yeah.
And, I know at the time, obviously, you guys were on Fox, so you can dance. And it was like popping and the opposite of what happened now. But it's like, I was like, oh, damn. And then I was like, I got close with Anthony and Mike. And I remember, I don't know, Anthony and Mike, you remember this, but like, Anthony, you're like, hey, you should get his CADC. And then you were like, you should get in Kaba.
Whoa, I don't know.
No. You said like I wanted to audition for a crew and I wanted to be in a crew. But I don't know, like, if you guys remember like talking about your guys' crews, because I also plan on moving down there and I figured it was going to be with Victor. But long story long, if Victor stayed in Six Step, I probably would have stayed in Six Step at the time and not get in with you guys because I was so close with Victor at the time.
You should, man.
I know.
But,
he should have stayed in Six Step, man.
Yeah, but you know what's sad?
Man.
Man.
Would have won ABDC.
No,
That's what I wanted to say. That's why I invited you guys. That's why I got that shit off my chest. You know?
But I don't know if you guys know. I mean, obviously the audience knows who Ricky Cole is. Like, he was also in the same boat, but he stayed in Six Step.
Yeah. That's a funny thing with Ricky Cole because he wanted to join for the same. He was like, I want to dance with you guys. And then we had already like officially quit. It was like putting in our 2 weeks or something. And we went to the show just to kind of support the other guys that hadn't quit yet. So we go to the
So you're trying to recruit?
Why did we? Honestly, I don't even know why we even went to
We
that.
went to
'cause
friendship games. You know friendship games?
Friendship games,
Yeah. So we weren't in that gig no more, but we went anyway.
we had
probably,
no business there.
just to meet girls or whatever. We go
And
there.
Fang.
Ricky Cole, who just joined, comes up to me and Hawk. We're on the side of the stage, and Ricky Cole goes, "Guys, we got to start stretching. We're about to go on." And me and Hawk are like, "We ain't in 6 Step no more, dude." And he goes, "Oh." All right, 6 Step, you're up.
And then we just see him go.
And then we just see him walk off like.
Wait, how did he not know that you guys were?
Because Devin didn't tell him. Devin
He wasn't
wanted
friends
him
with
to
Victor.
stay, yeah. Devin wanted him to stay, so he probably wasn't like, hey, you know the guys that made you want to join, they're not here no more. Like he was still like, yeah.
So it's probably better not to tell the new people that.
That's what
get
I think,
you,
at
you
least.
know?
Right.
Makes sense.
So yeah, now we're here, Quest Group, baby.
Yeah. So now we then we decided to make Quest Crew based on the learning center that was the only place that let us have rehearsal space for free, and they were called Quest Learning Center. So we said, hey, let's broker a deal where we name ourselves after the place and help get more students here, and that's it. Yeah.
That's
What's up, man?
What if the studio you guys were at was called Millennium? Would you have switched to Millennium?
There we go, Millennium Dance Crew.
Millennium.
Obviously. That's so
It was
sick,
really
dude.
that's real. It was the Quest, the studio.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the creation of it, but
This has worked hand in hand where it was like, oh, like we need a name.
Yeah.
What is it? And then I think we just looked at the business card, and I mean we're super RPG nerds too, you know. So
Yeah.
Quest is like,
Oh,
oh,
that is good. Yeah.
yeah, it just
Yeah.
dropped.
That is good.
Yeah,
that's
crazy
nice.
lightning.
Name it after the studio.
So I'm gonna slightly fast forward a little bit. So there was a moment where you said that, down the line after you guys created the crew, Dietrich joined and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a moment where Dietrich wasn't on the crew.
Yeah.
And then there was like a World of Dance performance where Dietrich was on the crew again, right? How convenient.
yeah.
Right before ABDC, of
Because we
course.
kicked him out.
Yeah. We're probably gonna be laughing about this.
Yeah, so
He's
let's
gonna
talk
be
about it
lying.
real quick.
Yeah,
This
let's
is
get
what
into that.
happened.
Let's get into that.
There's sides of the story.
Let's go to his side
Let's do
first.
his version first.
Let's just
Let
listen
me-
and then
let
we'll
me
tell you the truth.
honest side.
Usually in the dance community, when people are just talking shit about it on the side, I've heard those things, but I'm not going to talk about what that was. But I want to hear your side of the story.
I'm
I think-
curious of that.
I think a big part of it, like, is there's this word, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called ego, and I had a massive one. Right? So it's like, but I'm also very loyal. Like I'm like a massive. So I was like, at the time, I wasn't realizing what was happening, but it was just like a better fit for what I was doing. I think at the time I was like doing So You Can Dance, and Quest was still doing like touring and stuff. So I think that was like a final straw of like, oh, this man's out for himself. And at the time too, I was ignorant and like not aware of that, but it just ended up like being the best fit at that time. But I was also unaware of like the transition, like that it was going to be like that. But I was aware of how massively egotistical I was. Your boy was popping. We was killing the game. We was killing the game. I could have had my own Chachi Mama pants, baby. And I didn't realize that there was going to be no pants and no friends and no brothers. But I don't know if I told you guys this. Like the night I found out, like I was so brokenhearted, like I was crying in tears, and I called all my friends.
We're all laughing right now.
Because I remember that.
Yeah.
Because they know all the stories. I was calling all my friends from back home, kids I grew up with. Like, listen, man, am I fucked up? Like I was like so scared, but it was just like I think miscommunication and ego for me, I'm very aware of that. Just I wasn't cool enough anymore. I thought I was too cool.
Oh,
but y'all motherfuckers didn't have to kick a motherfucker out.
I regret that for sure.
I think it humbled him though. I think it was necessary.
Well, if I didn't get kicked out, I wouldn't have met YTF and Ray.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it was good.
So it's the best thing for me. Because that didn't fail either.
Yeah, you want version 2 and then version 3?
Yeah, give us all the sides of the story.
I think it was
and then version 4 of what you heard.
Yeah. I've never heard that either. Yeah,
I'm just joshing. I'll probably make up some nonsense. It's gonna be sick.
Wait, what's your version? This is interesting.
No, it's pretty much the same. It's almost the same, but it's just I remembered that. So the main thing was you were getting mad at other people for taking other jobs during the time that quest gigs are coming in, and I remember you were like, all right, we're making a rule. You got to put quest jobs first above all things. In this, I remember Steve going, "Damn, I have so many martial arts gigs I got to do," and then you were like, "It doesn't matter, man. Quest crew." And then he was like, "Oh man." So then he put all these things aside. I remember Steve talking to me like, "Damn, man, there's no wiggle room for anything." I'm like, "Nah, dude. Dietrich said quest crew #1," and which was fair because we had so many gigs coming in. And then at the same time as I remember when you were like, suddenly you came to me personally. You were like, "Dude, I just got asked by So You Think to come back as an all-star, bro. I'm going to miss all the quest gigs."
Oh, you know what's funny? So we never had this talk, and this is where the conflict happens. Because I actually asked you, I talked to Jeff, and I can get quest on for the finale. And if we do this, if I just do 5 weeks, I'm not going to miss long. Do you think I should do it, or should I not?
Yeah,
that's my story.
I remember you told me, he goes,
not me, I got cast for this piece out.
And welcome to season 2
no.
of the Kinjaz Podcast.
That's my story, and you told me to do it, and then
baby.
No, because you go. They asked me to do it, and then I found out you already said yes when you were asking me if you should or not.
I didn't.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God. Ask Jeff.
I think that's how I found out.
No, because I asked you legit, and when Jeff came to talk to you guys, I still didn't sign the contract.
Oh,
I asked you for your. I was actually asking for guidance, and then the night I got kicked out, it was you leading this rush.
We're over here clanking glasses right now.
Hey, this is getting real.
This is great. This is great.
Brotherhood, I love it.
Listen, man. sorry. Yeah, that was my story though.
So there was obviously confusion.
That's what I thought. And then I remember each dude was coming to me individually at times and going, "You gotta talk to Dom, man. He's making fun of me too much, and he's saying this."
Yeah, I was a dick.
And then I personally didn't have a problem because I thought it was funny a lot of times, so I wasn't saying as much until you fucking started coming after me.
I didn't have a problem when he wasn't making fun of me.
I'll tell you what the last straw is because it's fucking hilarious now that I would get mad at this then. But we took a trip to Hawaii, and this fool thought it'd be funny. So me and my girl had a room together. He thought it'd be funny to listen at the door while we were having sex. And then she does not have a quest sense of humor at all at the time. And then after we came out, he goes, we go in the van, all together, all the guys, and Dom goes, "I heard you guys, your girl was going, oh. And she got so embarrassed, we almost broke up off of that.
Oh shit, you never told me that!
Yeah, because she was like, "How could you let your friend humiliate me like that in front of your whole crew?"
Listen, man, I was an ass. I'm sorry.
Yo, this is good. This is juicy.
No, it was bad. I didn't give 2 fucks about anything.
And
it was so bad.
And that's it's so fucking funny now. But I just remember I initially wasn't mad, but her saying that to me was damn, I'm supposed to be mad. That is messed up.
I've done worse shit to you though. I think one time, bro. I don't want to say I did some terrible shit.
This is already the part where Kinjaz Podcast season 3 is a spin-off of just Ryan and D-trix. Where it's Hobbs and Shaw from Fast and the Furious, dude.
Yeah. That's when I got the other guys again. I'm like, y'all are right. He needs to be stopped.
But it's funny because the last time I saw Ryan before that was a month and a half ago when I was like, all right, Ryan, you're right. I should do this job. That was my perspective. And then I walk into this and I was like,
yeah. And then
he
I
still make sounds like this.
Yeah, and then so I
was
called
jacked
that
up.
meeting together.
I was jacked
It's
up.
essentially my fault. Like, and I regret doing this because it was like an emotional decision. But I got everybody together and put him like basically on a chopping block, and I was like basically you're kicked out, bro. Like all this and that, and I just presented everything. And I like basically led the whole like you're out of here kind of thing. And then immediately after, I was like,
I feel like we talked about it though.
yeah, but I was really like.
I can't wait
All
for version
about
3.
it.
Yeah.
I was really like, because I was so mad from that I was so motivated to just like do whatever it took to be like, get everyone on the same page, you know?
This whole eavesdropping on your sex galvanized your energy.
Because that's the emotional thing. The logical thing was that he was going to be gone for the summer, and our Quest gigs all had under contract that every member of ABDC had to be, or every member of Quest crew had to be present at the summer gigs, like the international jobs.
Yeah.
So our solution to that, because we couldn't just say D-trix isn't coming, that's a friggin' like Beyonce is not gonna be at Destiny Child concert. So then we had to go like, what's the solution? Oh, D-trix isn't in the crew anymore, so now every member of the crew is still coming. That was the logical answer of it.
So for the people who are tuning in on just YouTube, D-trix is mouthing some stuff over to Ryanimay right now.
But the emotional side was like, you made fun of my girlfriend moaning in Hawaii.
I would have known that. I would have fucking got beatbox skills and did it correctly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's sad.
Wait. I want to hear Hawks
Yeah,
because we
honestly,
lived together. We lived together, and he just didn't talk to me
Oh,
for
we
a
did
while.
live together.
So
We were
I'm
roommates.
learning this. We lived together, and I'm learning
That's
this.
right.
What you guys are hearing, this is also my first time Hawk.
No, I've told you many times, I think. But I think it's really interesting that you get...
Just make sure you mention the stuff you never told him before.
Yeah, that's good.
No, you really get 3 different versions. And I feel like we remember it... Like, our memories slightly change over time to actually what happened, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, like what Ryan said, I think at the time, it was being really hypocritical. It was like, hey, don't do this, do this, until it's yourself. Then it's like, rules don't apply. And I was like, oh, that's weird, you know? And if you can do that, then, no, man, you're out. And, yeah, I think the way I saw it was, at the time, too, we were getting a lot of inquiries, and we're like, okay, let's put everything aside. Let's put everything into Quest, and we were all saying it. And then when it was more beneficial as an individual, you took it. And it's like, sure, do that. You know, there's not like a wrong and right answer, but if you can do that, then it doesn't align with like the philosophy that we all signed up for. So let's just have you out is, I think, what made the most sense. And I think, you know, we're all cool 10, 15 years later, whatever.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
He's hurting still.
there's like so many different ways of doing it. And we all have our individual hustle, right?
Yeah.
As well as a group. And it was just like, that's the way he chose to do it. And he became successful, as we did all in our, you know, in our different ways. So, I mean, I think he's a bit more hurt by that. I think we're all still cool. So
I'm massively hurt. Mainly because of 2 things. One, you guys did the finale, and I was still on board with it with Fox for you guys to do it, even though I wasn't able to do it. And I legit did not make that decision on my own.
yeah, but you're always gonna justify. Like you're gonna become a victim. Like
No.
But,
No.
Like that, you do that. Just as people, we do that. You know.
I love you guys.
Hey.
The original agreement, I'll say this, the original agreement was only 4 weeks, and I wasn't doing tour, and we got to do the finale. And I made a mistake. The biggest mistake I made was not asking the whole crew. I think just asking Ryan about his guidance, because I signed a contract for $5 million saying I couldn't mention my decision or what I'm going to do to anybody. So I didn't even tell anybody but Ryan. And I think I was asking for guidance in that conversation. I think regardless, it was completely messed up. However I was acting, I think that was my biggest regret, because I was egotistical as fuck. I've done way worse stuff to you, Ryan, than the story you mentioned.
No. I think what messed
Like,
up
what kind
was,
of stuff have you
Oh, this
done
is
way
cool.
worse?
Yeah.
Keep digging.
Can I tell you the worst, most egotistical fucking quote I've ever said to Ryan?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. We're on T-Mobile tour, and and we're about to do a meet and greet after our tour. And now Fang's there too, but he's not performing because he's just hurt, but he's wearing a beanie, right? So he's just there, but he's just like gonna do the meet and greet. Anyways, we do the show and we're doing our meet and greet, and my hair is just flopping, like it looks bad. So I was like, I gotta put on a beanie. And then everybody's like, no, we gotta do the meet and greet. Your hair's gotta be ready. And I was like, well, it's gonna take me another 45 minutes to straighten my hair. And I'm just getting pissed now, right? I'm like, just let me put a beanie on. I gotta be, what the fuck? And so we go do the meet and greet. We do the meet and greet, or like right before it, and Ryan's like, no, just do your hair. Like, that's our branding. I was like, no, these people wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. And then I was like, it was awkward. And then I went, I am so sorry. I'll go do my hair. Right, do you remember that? Do you remember that, right? Like, that's, like, I said some, like, that's some, like, Mighty Duck shit. You know, like, that's like some, like,
It was straight out of a movie, man.
But it was so awkward.
Like, so frequent too. Like that was
so frequent.
Yeah. We had to deal with that shit all the time.
That was the best
Oh,
one
goodness.
because it was in Tacoma, Washington. We were doing like a mall tour, and we're literally he stormed off and like walked through the mall by himself, and he was still getting stopped by fans, and he was signing shit all mad.
Because I had to fucking do my hair, man. I was like, you know how terrible like when I said that and it was awkward, I was like, oh, I'll go do my hair. I'm sorry. Like, it was like, I was like,
wait,
fuck.
I'm pretty sure you didn't apologize.
No, I did. That's right.
He came right back and he like just straight up was like,
Afterwards,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah,
He like said it,
yeah.
turned around, signed an autograph, and you came back and you were like, I'm so sorry, man. And I was just like, that was so fast, the whole thing.
That's crazy.
It was fucking hilarious.
What is that, like early
That's funny.
20s?
No, because you guys,
2010.
you guys had
Early
a
2010,
meet.
late 2009.
We made some stupid agreement. I don't even know that, like, we said, okay, people know us for our hair, so anytime we go out in public or we do interviews or anything, you can't just have a hat on, you have to have your hair done. And then
So how come that you let Fang wear a beanie?
he wasn't performing.
My argument.
Your best argument was that
No, but that's Anthony.
you called out a specific time like a year ago on ABDC for one package shoot where I had a hat, and you went, "You wore a hat episode this of ABDC." Yeah, you were like, you had that brown hat on when they were interviewing you, but the music on the last episode.
Oh yeah,
I was
we
like,
had
I did have a hat on.
Oh,
Dude,
Yeah.
it's funny because it just sounds like a bunch of like bickering from a bunch of like.
This is what happens when you spend too much time
And
together.
we're yelling
It's
about
just-
all this shit. Meanwhile, all these kids are just watching us, like waiting for us to like.
They
talk
just
to
want
them.
a signature.
They don't care. Like, great. Can we get an autograph?
Why don't wear hats and come sign mine?
They got insecure too. They went to go get their hair done. Like, shit, her.
Yo, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
Ultimately,
man.
though, all said and done, I think it was when you said no one can take other jobs, and then it didn't matter what happened after that. I think if that had never been said, it wouldn't have been as like strict of a look at this guy, dude. So you think it's an all-star? Like it would have been. We could have leveraged all of this for the benefit of everybody. But we just didn't
Yeah.
fucking think like that. We're idiots.
I think it's like a big part of it was like at the time, I think for all of us too, like Jabberwockies were paving this new way that no one's ever seen as a crew. And I think you guys know too, like when a crew is started from like dance and it turns into business, which none of us are fucking like, none of us know shit. We only know the standard of dance. So I feel like one thing I learned like two things. One, that I was a fucking piece of shit and should never act like that to nobody. And two, how fucking cool it is that we like came back to a time now where we're like so close, and like that 2014 show that we ended up coming back and doing together was such a big deal.
Yeah,
and that
so
we were
I-
able to solve it.
I want to ask.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
so
didn't talk
obviously
for 3 years straight.
Really?
Wow.
Because we were still texting about Lauren.
No, you. That's when you finally hit me up again. Was when you got with Lauren, and then you.
Oh, later that year, yeah.
We hadn't even talked. Like I would see him, we wouldn't even say nothing, and then like he hit me up and was like, "Yo, like I think I'm in love, bro."
Yeah, because we were still talking through sidekicks.
love. Nice. Our safe
Oh, wait,
words
what
out.
was your question?
All right, so
Just
obviously,
Sorry, guys.
for balance, for healthy balance, because you know. I don't want to come out here and just fucking air your dirty laundry for all of our fans.
Yeah, we
Without
kind of figured
acknowledging.
this one was gonna go off script, which is cool. But yeah, go ahead.
But without acknowledging that it must have been difficult. Ego, sure. But all of you are fucking phenomenal at what you've done and have paved phenomenal careers for yourselves, whether it be like you said, your boy has been killing it, you know, like judging shows and doing everything that you're like, for you to even be a dancer and then suddenly become like a judge on ABDC or like a, you know, an all-star and so you think, or for Ryan to, I remember fucking when Ryan was greasing his hair and doing fucking salsa or some shit on So You Think. or sticking the best backhead flip to like turning into a keytarist for LMFAO and everything. Or like Hawk being like an international judge on another talent show, fucking wearing a monocle. Who the fuck gets away with wearing a monocle?
That's pretty funny.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys definitely were killing the game in your own right. So it must have been like a crazy experience to bring all of that talent and amazingness together. But now let's fast forward and cut to the positive shit. Like, how did it turn into bringing D back onto the crew? Like, what happened?
How did that even happen?
It's because we ended up just being cool again after 3 years or so, and then we started hanging out again and stuff. And then I think what World of Dance, like, I think because
I lived in Vegas.
Yeah, we're also close to Myron, and Myron was the one who mentioned, hey, would you guys want to do World of Dance?
We weren't even gonna do it. I
Nah,
think.
we weren't gonna do it. But then we said, fuck it, let's just do one last show and do it with D-trix.
You know what it
And
was
then just
too?
be
I
done.
don't know if we'll talk about this, but
Talk about it.
Okay. I don't know. All right, but like no, because I never experienced it personally, but I think we were hearing how the traveling live World of Dance shows, as big as the brand was, they weren't treating dancers as much respect as I feel
you can definitely
like.
talk about that.
Okay, yeah,
Fact.
and I feel like, how can you have a brand when like the actual thing that's selling your product, like, you're not respecting, So I think that was a big motivation. Was like, okay, then let's do it, not get paid at all. Let's just do a crazy show just to say fuck you to that brand.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's what it was?
That was a
That
huge.
was a fucking celebration. I thought that was like a here you go World of Dance. A fucking silver platter of awesome branding for years.
I thought it was just like our last show together.
I didn't get that from that.
Wait,
No, I mean, I don't think
I was like, should we perform at World of Dance?
wait, Hawk, that's like, I didn't know that.
No, I think the way we did it didn't make any sense, but for sure
You
we
guys, like,
had that.
inspired the next century. What the fuck?
Damn it, we did the opposite.
Usually when you're mad
Gave
at
them
a,
exactly what they wanted.
usually when you're mad at a company, you just don't fuck with the company. But us, no, we give them our best. Fuck you guys, take all of our souls.
Fuck you guys, we're gonna perform the sick shit for free.
Yeah,
And you can upload it.
only you guys can. Only you guys can.
Hey, that's how dumb we were, though.
Take that, hit the floor.
Hey,
You want
I
us to
respect
do?
Hit the Floor so
you guys
much, though.
killed Hit the Floor.
I
though.
respect
Y'all
Hit the
sad.
Floor
Yeah.
so much,
I
man.
love Floor.
Yeah.
All right, back to World of Dance and how they don't treat people right. So,
I didn't know about that story.
Yeah.
I just did because Ryan asked me to like come back
Yeah,
practice.
Hey, but I think the dope thing is, man, I mean, I think we're a bunch of dudes sitting in a room right now. Like, the male ego is a very strong thing to recognize, and then also, like, realize, like, yo, this is not healthy. This is not helping me in any way. And, like, these are some of my best friends and brothers that I've shared, some of the best experiences, best years of my life. And like, in what I love, and like, we're getting a kick out of like just the real brotherhood here, and like you guys being down to go that deep. And I think that just is a testament of like how deep your guys' brotherhood friendship goes. And like, Ryan, you got here earlier, and I was like, oh, when's the last time you saw Hawk and Dietrich? Like, yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you guys
Fucking all
really-
the time.
And I think that's amazing, man. You guys just celebrated 14 years anniversary.
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, 14.
Some high ass number.
That's deep,
funny you
man.
say that because I remember one time we did a gig. This is just to support what you just said, but we did like a Daddy Yankee video, and we were all just fucking around like we normally are. And then people went up to us and went, "Have you guys not seen each other in a long time?" Like, we're like,
we see each other every day.
what?
Yeah.
We go,
do
"Y'all
that.
acting like- you guys are acting like it's a reunion.
We do that every
We see each other
time.
every fucking day.
We just literally had a sleepover last weekend. We just.
I don't know, man. That's just how it is, I guess.
So how was that moment to ask D to like come back and perform? Like, from a fan of I'm asking for a friend. I've never been a fan of you guys.
That was close. That was close.
Hey, chat, edit that shit.
Almost
Make
lost
me
it.
look cool, bro.
Almost outed yourself.
All right. But yeah, like, how did that moment come about? Like, in terms of and then D, how did you take it, being as emotional and shit as you are?
What do you mean?
I think that there was a lot of motivating factors behind it. Also, the fact that we had done like an LMFAO tour with Rudy and Aichi.
Yeah.
And we never did a proper Quest show with them along with with Dom. So we were like, yo, let's put everything together that we've been doing and then just do one solid like done show. And then we were gonna quit after that shit. We were like, this is the last show we're ever gonna do.
Yeah.
That was what it was meant to be. So that kind of made it, I think, a little more attractive to do because we're like, there's no more shows out there.
Yeah, I was honestly massively honored. And I remember at the time too, we really wanted Victor to do it too. We wanted everybody back. So it was like,
right, we did.
that was like the missing element at the time because we really wanted, and then we had a deal too, I think, which is from another country, but we wanted like everybody to do it.
Yeah, you guys asked me too. I turned it down because I wasn't available. But yeah.
Yeah, you were busy.
Yeah, weren't
so
you
you're busy.
hosting or some
Yeah.
shit?
Oh shit, I was available.
Oh yeah, you were.
He was at the show.
So you were mad at Early Dance as well.
I was-
You were mad and you're like, yeah, fuck y'all, host for free.
Yeah.
That was so damn good.
Shout out TK.
Was that fight for Myron?
Was that the Macklemore show?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a legendary show, man.
Yeah, it was
Thanks,
really
man.
good.
Yeah.
I think we always like try to get reasons that will make us mad and have that motivate us, even though we know that's not 100% true. Just like even when we first started Quest, we didn't like the fact that the Boogie Zone forum, the Boogie Zone brand was getting more attention
Yo,
than
can
us.
we tell him that?
That's honestly the
Yo,
main
so-
drive.
When Mihawk
Wait,
first,
what?
When Mihawk
Wait,
started-
what?
when
You guys
Mihawk
were
started
in
Quest,
competition with Boogie Zone?
Yes.
That's the dumbest thing we've never
That-
told anybody. That's the dumbest thing, bro.
What?
Yeah, that
Because
was.
we went, me and Hawk were like, we had to set
this is
an
amazing.
enemy, like a goal
Yeah.
to like someone to defeat. We were like, who's the coolest thing
Mhm.
in dance? And we were like, Boogie Zone is.
They're getting a lot of attention in
So
the
Hawk
scene.
said, we're gonna defeat Boogie Zone. And they weren't even competing or nothing.
Yeah. We were like, we need to make sure we become a
Dude.
bigger
That's
existence
funny.
than that.
Wow.
Yeah, because their forums were popping back
Yeah,
then.
Yeah.
bro,
They
it's
were
such a-
popping.
they
Boogie Zone
were
was
they were like
popping,
trying to.
yeah.
And then
Help
social
us.
And
media
they were
was,
nice.
was born.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're
Right,
like friends
right.
with Elm, and then the funny thing is Elm, like after we said that, we were like, yeah, that's the enemy. And then Elm hit us up and was like, hey, I'm starting a little like side crew of like
yeah.
hip hop people if you guys are interested. And we were like, no, Elm.
You're an enemy now.
Yeah, it was so it
hilarious.
was just we needed an imaginary opponent. That's
Yeah,
why, you know.
but I mean, sadly, it works.
But you
know?
guys have probably noticed by now we can't do shit unless there's like something to defeat.
Hey,
Yeah.
always. That's
Yeah.
how
We're not good at like.
I
just,
remember
like,
getting pissed
you know,
at you guys for that sick ass Macklemore show. You remember? I remember being like, dude, these motherfuckers get away with putting like the sickest head spin fool in the world, just there, just doing head spins, and all they're doing in the back is just going 5, 6, 7, 8. Slap the 4 and get on your knee. I was like, we're here. We're fucking cleaning 8 counts for like ever.
And we're learning how to clap on beat.
Yeah.
And if you look, we're still not that clean.
Yeah.
How the fuck are they getting away with this?
Bro, that's how we do it, man.
Hey.
But that's why I always admired Kinjaz, because I mean, you guys are a good business. Quest is a
Yeah,
fucking
this is the
terrible
part where you, the
business.
transitions. Keep talking about how awesome we are now. Now let's make it about Kinjaz.
As a business, you guys are fucking the best. But as
Oh, yeah.
for Quest is a fucking awful business. We're
No.
we're
terrible.
We're a communist party. There's no leader.
We're a communist party
Yeah.
leader.
There's absolutely no leader.
Communist Party with no leader.
Just 14 Hitlers
Yeah.
in one group. That none of us want to take
He
lead.
meant hitters.
Wow.
Like a bunch of chefs in the kitchen, but no one wants to cook.
Yeah, so that's the curse that you get, you know. Like, but it comes game time and we have to beat somebody. That's
Yeah.
when
That's
we,
our strongest.
we get serious, man.
Okay, so then
I love
that
that.
kind of chemistry, though. I mean, you can have a team of hitters and then have no
Hitlers,
chemistry.
Hitlers.
As you put it. But chemistry is absolutely necessary for victory, right? Especially as a team, right?
Mhm.
So how do you feel, or what do you guys think the magic of your guys' chemistry is?
I think just honestly the amount of time we spent together. We would literally
Yeah.
have a 10-hour
Not
rehearsal,
dancing.
Yeah.
mess around for 9 hours, and then the last hour we would rehearse. But it was almost like we wouldn't have come up with that if we didn't mess around.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Or we run out of time, so we had to resort to just
Yeah,
slapping
right.
the floor.
I think
And his
pressure,
favorite part?
time and pressure, because most of our stuff was made within like 4 nights. I don't think anything really took us like longer than that. I feel like with most of our pieces. So I feel like the pressure, but a big part of it is fucking around in the pressure, which is what we do without the pressure too, is like a massive I feel like thing that at least I've learned being in Quest.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that's really fun. Cool.
That's
I hate it though. I'll get so mad because we wouldn't do anything.
But he also hates that we're right. Like he hates that. He hates that it's true.
That's
He hates
I get it.
No, trust me, because like he hates that. As much as he hates the process, it does make the best fucking shows that are like irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like that chemistry only comes out because we're fucking around.
Hey, just for fun, that's kind of how I felt about Mike for a while from a creative point, because we would have to. I've probably never said this to Mike before.
Yeah. Let's get more of that. Yeah. Come on.
I'm out.
Come on. Get those. Yeah.
No,
You guys have created the safe space.
Yeah, obviously, me and Mike are fucking different human beings, but Mike is a guy who, or actually, let's not talk about Mike. Let's talk about myself and my shortcomings.
No. Continue.
I also like to, in one sense, not necessarily have a schedule, but like, there's like order to the chaos in my mind in some ways.
Yeah.
But like Mike, sometimes like he just needs fucking freedom to just create, right? But that also means that like maybe you're just sitting around doing seemingly nonsense for like a really long time, right? But I had to learn. I was like, you gotta let that live, because like in my mind, I'm like, we're like inefficient. We're not doing shit. We're just trying shit out. We could just get this quick. But then he comes up with something genius in like the 9th hour, and you're like, fuck. The genius needs to breathe. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy though to hear that? That honestly makes me feel like it just makes me realize like how long we've known each other, because I feel like the seasons of our relationship are like we've gone through so many seasons of how we are in our dynamic. Because I'll remember even like Ambu Black Ops, the same thing, but like reverse, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
I remember like Ambu
Hey man,
Black
that's when I
Ops.
was fat, dude.
Nothing wrong with the Anthony. Nothing wrong with the Anthony. Continue, Mike.
But I mean, first of all, thank you for the love in that. But I just think it's like our long-term dynamics of how things keep shifting in our yin yang. And I think in like Ambu Black Ops, I like same kind of example is like, we were like building something where we were gonna launch someone and do some crazy stunt, and we spent so long on that. And from the beginning, I was like, we've never done stunts. Never. Why? When we have one day, do a stunt now. We should not. And it went so far. And I think that like, again, like
I should have been on
Anthony's
Quest Crew. They do stunts in one day.
Wait. But what's funny is that when we do choreo, we're like, we don't do choreo.
We say the same shit.
We say the same shit. Like, let's slap the fucking ground, and Aichi does headspin. No one cares.
Meanwhile, Feng's in the corner with his beanie, like.
Funny you should say that, because that's true.
I just want to wear a beanie, man.
Oh my god.
Continue.
No, yeah, and so it just makes me think that like there's a time like that, but then it's just the seasons where I think like even now I think our dynamic is so different too in terms of like our roles and like how we operate, and I just think it's a testament to like even when you guys like so humbly give us that respect, I feel like that's in my opinion, it's just a testament to time. When I look at Quest, I'm like, I've always thought you guys are a crew of fucking stars. Straight up. That's just like real talk.
Man.
You guys are individual stars, and you guys like made it work. And I think that's what's so unique about you guys is that like sometimes I see crews and like the crew blew up together. Whereas you guys were already individual superstars, and somehow you guys made it work. And I think that's very fucking rare. And I think like, you guys giving Kinjaz props, I think like maybe the only something in that air is just like, I think like we were fortunate to be just old in when we like formed older, like, you know what I mean? And I'm not even trying to compare anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just think we, in our 20s,
Yeah.
we were all still finding ourselves, and you guys,
Right.
like, were already fucking like superstars, and you guys still made it work and made like game-changing pieces after another and fucking beat us on a television show and shit. But like, you guys,
You need to pull up another glass for that one.
but real talk is respect, and I just think it's timing, and I think.
But I think to Mike's point that I find to be very interesting, I agree. Like, it's a team of superstar individuals, and normally the story that comes along with that is breakup. Everyone goes and pursues their own thing because they can't make it work
I mean,
together.
this story's not over yet, so let's wait.
Exactly.
We're waiting.
But then to have put in 14 years and some change, right, as a crew, and you guys see each other regularly. You guys throw your annual epic, holiday Halloween parties and all that. Like
The best, by the way.
are the best.
The best.
And how, in your guys' opinion, do you keep that ego caged up for the sake of
They don't.
the brotherhood?
obviously.
Yeah, they keep
Well,
him
no,
out.
but I love it. I love the honesty.
I think
I love
the answer, so at least for me.
But
what
like, how does it keep you from breaking up? You're like, you know what? I don't need these guys anymore. You know what I mean? Like, how do you keep it from getting yourself to the point where like I'm just gonna do me and I don't need that anymore?
this might be different for you guys, but for me, one thing that I learned, and at least my answer to that is that I feel like it's the energy of fucking around and immature. Like our way of having fun never leaves. Like we literally like craft. We kind of forget what each other does, to be honest, because we fuck around so much. And I feel like when that rolls into the rehearsal room, like it's weird because I come from a B-way background. Usually you argue to get your way, and so like when I came with them, and it was like I would yell because I'm like, no, it needs to be like this, and then Ryan would flip it to the wall to break that, and then we'd all just start dying laughing, and then all of a sudden we came up with our next moment because of that. I feel like that is why, and as much as I feel like it's nice to hear, like, thank you for thinking of us as superstars, but I think that's also, we think we're so fucking whack. Like, in a real genuine level, like, the deepest level, like, we actually do think we're whack as fuck. And it's like, it's super genuine. And I feel like thinking about you guys, that we think about you guys as the same way you probably think about us, because I think you guys, Kinjaz, are actually made up of literally superstars of a community that wins everything. And so I feel like it's weird because it's like we're hearing it, but that's exactly what we think of you guys. But for us, I don't know, I just feel like a big part of it is I genuinely think we all think we're really whack. Yeah.
Super inspiring. Thank you, Dietrich. So I do want to ask a question though. In that sequence, gathering superstars, we do this sometimes within Kinjaz. But if you were all specific Avengers for Marvel's Avengers, who would each member be?
Is there a gay one?
Is there a trans one?
Is there?
How about a Viet one? Is there a Viet one?
I don't know.
No one in Quest is yet, right?
No.
I was like,
Are we supposed to
You know we don't allow Viets.
I was gonna laugh in and be like, wait.
Wait, Hawk, real quick. Just a side note, Hawk.
Yeah.
Do you know any of the event? You know the event.
Yeah.
Name one.
Well,
Name your favorite.
wait, which
shit,
one was
really?
it? Which one was it?
Wait.
Wait.
You know which one you
No.
are.
Iron Man, that's wait, no.
That's Marvel. but which one? But who's Batman?
Can we talk about something else?
See,
No. Wait.
Maybe hairstyles.
She-Hulk.
Wait, which one?
She-Hulk.
Oh, good.
Which one was Avengers? Which?
No, which one was Avengers?
But it's funny hearing you trying to figure it out.
I mean,
Alright,
there's a lot of them.
Fuck that
There's a
question.
lot of them. See,
Move on to the next moment.
Oh man. Okay. Better question. Let's bring it back to ABDC real quick. So, just to recount random shit for the fun conversation part of it. So, how did you view us? What did you think of us? Whether it was a moment, whether it was whatever. Like, how was that
Are
competition?
you talking about when we went against
When we
each other or
competed?
the first time we did it?
in general? Oh yeah.
We should talk about season 8.
Yeah, season 8. When we went against each other.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Just like, what was our
Do you
experience?
remember-
Let's
Do
set
you
up
remember-
context for
I
anybody.
already
Yeah,
know.
context,
I already know.
Context.
Totally.
Do you remember saying this to me? Like we were, it was just, the season hadn't yet officially started. We were,
Sorry, that was very.
You're the one that
told-
Very, very.
He's not that
professional of me.
Somebody had to say that word once.
You
right?
go on.
Is
You
it?
go on.
we were, the season hadn't started yet. We were just doing like promo photos. So we all the crews came together at some studio. And then I think we were just fucking around like we always were. And then I think you or Villain had went, like, man, you guys really are comfortable here, huh?
Oh, it's because he just ran out of the fucking photo room naked.
Yes.
It was the ABDC photo shoot.
Yeah.
He forgot his clothes. That's all. He
No,
just
literally,
forgot his clothes.
we're just everybody's sizing each other up. We just had this random moment, right? Fucking like Super Crew's walking by, Thai skates looking at us like, who's Japanese? Wait, that was
World of Dance.
Okay,
That
never
was
mind.
World of
That's a
Dance.
funny story.
So many.
There's a lot of
That is a lot of that's a
And then
funny
Nigel
story.
Lithgow came, and then Simon Fuller.
Okay, so other than that though,
Wade Robson.
And then we got
we did have I think we were in like Burbank or something at Central Stage or some shit, right? We're doing this photo shoot, and everybody's got to do their crew photo shoot, so people are like dressing up, making sure they're getting into their like motif, you know, like having their specific thing that makes them them. We're like, yo, we gotta get ninja as fuck. We gotta get our costumes. Everybody's trying to fucking prepare for this like moment. We're like, and for Kinjaz, I don't even fucking know why we were on the show. Like we never won.
That's the
ever.
context.
Oh, yeah.
Season of Champions, but
We
here's the
weaseled our
context.
way in via Ben and Jabberwockies.
So that sets the stage for this, right? Season
The
8 was
context,
supposed to be the ultimate, right? Like
Right.
all the
All
past
champs.
season champions going for the ultimate title of the America's Best Dance Crew, and we're like, Kinjaz has never been on the show. We never won anything, and we somehow kind of got an invite,
But
right?
we had nothing to lose.
Not somehow. It was the Jabberwockies. They
very
couldn't get
clear.
the. I'm gonna just fucking say
Jabberwockies.
that
Hey,
shit.
true.
hey,
It's
It's the
true.
real shit.
It is the real
It's
shit.
the real
They-
shit.
And
They couldn't
they
get-
they wanted so badly for us to constantly talk about Jabberwockies.
Yeah.
And we were trying
Yeah.
so hard not to.
Yeah.
And
Right,
honestly,
right.
out of respect too, to like not be like, yo, we're here on the coattails of the Jabberwocky. What the
Right.
fuck? You know,
For
we're
sure.
trying to like figure out our own stuff too. But the point is, this motherfucker's naked ass
That's the point.
runs out of the fucking photo room. And I remember exactly what you were saying too, because you were just covering your dick and you're walking out and you're like, oh, sorry guys, sorry.
No, I was authentically apologizing, but I want to let you know that wasn't my fault. Because they kept screaming,
Really?
get naked, get naked. I was like, fuck, I have to because they're hyped. And I'm like, I'm hyped now. And then I
I'm hyped now.
I lost my hype when I made eye contact with
Victimizing.
you guys holding my dick. My small one at that.
Point is, that was the show. That's when we knew. We're like, all right, this is a competition.
Yeah, honestly, that though, like, turned on the competitive fire in us because we were like, oh, that's the level they're taking it to. Holy
Wait,
shit.
what?
Yo, that's so funny that you guys remember that so clearly.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh yeah, just another day.
Yeah, that's normal.
That's
for
he's
us.
always doing that.
Yeah, we're
Well, when I'm
so
not-
tired of
when I
seeing
have
it.
ab, I do that. But now I just kind of keep my clothes on for
But that's
everybody.
the thing. I remember that interaction because that's when I thought like, oh, like it seemed like you guys were a little like nervous about something. It felt like it.
Or
'Cause-
serious. Really
Yeah,
serious.
like serious. Because like
Sure.
you know, outside of dancing and shit, we're kind of the same fucking vibe.
Yeah.
And then when we went back to the show, it's like it felt so familiar to us because of we don't really give a
Because
shit.
you had won before.
Well, I mean, we're just assholes, like just generally.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then you guys are like hella stern that day, and I was like, yo, they seem like different.
I was like, yo, yeah,
It's like you look at them, they're trying.
But we were just like,
Yeah.
trying. No, I think
Some of us cared.
But see, from our point of view, even though you guys felt like, oh, we don't have no business being here, we really saw it like you guys had an advantage.
Yeah.
I
You had the
think
underdog.
I
card,
thought
man.
you guys had the advantage because you were
100%.
totally fresh and new, and we can't repeat anything that even looks similar to something we did in the past.
Yeah, I think
You
you guys.
guys-
That makes a lot of sense now.
Is-
Now
am I
that we're like
mistaken?
mature and shit.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I might be mistaken, but wasn't that a key ingredient on why we wanted to? In a sense of like, oh
Yeah.
shit, they're doing it. It's not. We really want to go against Jabba. That was
We
a
said
big
no
deal.
the first time we heard Jabba said no.
And then
Yeah.
when it was you guys, I remember we did debate it, but I was like, I don't know. I just feel like Kinjaz are probably gonna win this because no one's ever gonna see, like, no one's seen their shit,
Yeah.
and they got pieces for days that
Yeah.
we're all fans of, and we're like, oh fuck, this would be probably the hardest thing to ever actually do and maybe win because we are authentic. Yeah, we're friends, but we're also massive fans of you guys, and we're aware that like it might look like you guys are the what is it called, the
Outlier.
the one that's not supposed to win. What is that called?
The underdog.
The underdog.
Yeah.
But I thought in a weird subconscious way, there's no way we can win this because it's like
Yeah,
you guys
I
are
thought-
fucking that nasty.
Wow. That's
At
crazy.
least for me. I don't know that's for everybody.
It's true because you guys are made up of people that we freaking studied to win it the first time.
That is very true. That is massively
It's not,
true.
You know, you gotta
Obviously,
keep it real.
Mike, you were there for those times
Yeah,
watching
he
us.
saw us
Walking past our room, just
every
watching
show.
So what does he do exactly here? Okay,
3 guys, 3 girls. I think I can go with those.
And it didn't help that even when we all individually did So You Think and ABDC the first time, we were able to play the underdog card. We were like, we didn't have like proper training, and we were able to use it.
The underdog card was very helpful for us. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. Well, our underdog card was special. It wasn't like some like randomly bestowed. It was like we're not champions. Like this is a season. You keep on saying it's a season champions.
It's our first time here.
You know what I mean? I don't even know if we want to be underdogs. My cocky ass is fine. We're not underdogs.
I just remember that got so far. I just realized that right now. It got so far on social media in a way. I have vague memories. Maybe you can tap into this as well. I just remember, I think we had a conversation at one point.
I just remember.
Yeah.
It was
because it got so like pitted as like David and Goliath, and then it almost pitted Chris as the bad guy so bad.
How did you forget about this?
Serious conversation.
That's the crazy thing. That really showed us that we had no idea you saw it that way until that point. You know what I mean? And we saw you guys as the thing, so it was really confusing.
But then at that moment, I remember our conversation again. It's spotty now. I just remember we had that conversation, and I just remember that for us too, though, it's not like we were trying to play that up. And so I think there was that like,
I was trying to
you know what I mean? I think that
Anthony was.
No, but you guys.
I never was on the show. Even these guys were on the show. This is my first time. I need to win. I have nothing going for me.
That's funny.
My parents run a dry cleaner.
But I have to clarify. Yes, we were playing us up as the underdogs, but you guys as the villains, we didn't think we were doing that, and it wasn't until that conversation. Because I remember we had a really real conversation after that about like, yo, these are our homies, and we've done this on World of Dance. Like, did we have these moments in Kinjaz where like we will pause and just be like, wait, we have to fucking just stop and be like, these fucking people from these major networks are pitting us against like people we've known for years.
Yeah.
And we're like sucked into this thing that could change our relationships.
Yeah.
Fuck this. And we have to just pause and like get out of that system. And that's how I remember that conversation.
And I'm not gonna lie, a big part of it is because the middle person talking to both of us separate times were people we trusted, which was Nappy Tabs. So like even when Nappy Tabs was like trying to sell it, and they're like, "Yeah, Pac-Man's on. We're texting Pac.
Yeah,
like, you want?"
you guys aren't on there, right? We're like,
and that's where I started getting honestly upset at Nappy Tabs because they represent our community in the voice of business, and here they are, fucking lying, and it's like really tough because. Fucking Napoleon's so good at it.
But it's
like,
so typical.
Because even though it's a lie, he still got us because he's just hyped. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Maybe he is lying.
Can I explain the thing that happened with us?
I almost want to explain it first.
So good. You first because you do first.
Yeah. I'm scared for you to explain it first. That's the only thing. I'm just nervous.
Wait, the journalist major.
I think it's hilarious. Like what happened.
I have to do it. Honestly, this is the only reason why I wanted you guys on the podcast. Because I need to formally 7 years later apologize for something to the public.
I can't.
Every crew has a D-trix. I might be that for Kinjaz.
You once too were fat.
I'm gonna let that one rest. Leave the dust to settle.
Oh man.
Okay, so we were fucking young and dumb. I need to preempt that I was an idiot. And there was this thing when we got into the voting round of the last episode and stuff, and it was Kinjaz against Quest, and it's like. I remember it was a huge thing. My parents were in Vietnam. Like my whole family's in Vietnam, like vacationing and stuff. My mom's lying in bed. It's like 3 a.m. because I'm calling her. I'm like, you gotta vote for her. She's got her iPad. She's trying to vote for us. It was a really intense moment that we actually thought this was a real competition, right? That like voting counted, right? And so we were trying our best. Oh shit. Go ahead. So we were trying our best, and one of the things that I so arrogantly was just pushing, I was just like, yo, like everybody, you gotta vote for us because their crew's got D-trix, and he's got like 1 million followers. And MTV was like, they were getting like 30,000 views at the time anyway, so that was a huge impact, you know what I mean? So it was like a big deal.
It was online voting too.
Yeah, it was online voting. So it was, everybody, you guys gotta vote for us because they got D-trix, right? And I fucking respect Ryan so much, and he's the nicest dude. Ryanimay is the nicest fucking dude in the world. So the second he even like nicely checked me on something, my world crumbled. You have no idea how much I got checked. Like my heart shattered in ways that I'd rather fucking like wish I fucking bought Bitcoin in 2013. And his point is, like, he's like, dude, honestly, it's like kind of insulting for you to like kind of let people know that we're only gonna win because we have D-trix when all of us like super have like, you know, we've worked hard for our craft and stuff like that. And I'm like sitting there reading this text, and I think we're in like the room right next to you. There's, like,
the rehearsal room.
Right next to you in the hotel. There's
You hear our room go quiet.
In my mind, Ryanimay is looking through the hole and it says to me, you know what I mean? And then in this moment, I realized, I was like, I am a fucking insecure, degenerate asshole who only cares about winning, and it's like not at all caring about the relationships and the friends or even just the artistry that we're all trying to put on stage because I'm trying so hard to win because this is my fucking first time.
Nice save.
Good. Yo, that's actually a good perspective.
Dude, that's great.
That's
But
really fucking cool.
I was so wrong, and I apologize so deeply. I should have known that D-trix actually was your crux that like was gonna make you lose, versus blaming your winning.
Yeah.
on him.
Yes.
No, but really, that was a huge moment. I got checked, and I apologize formally for being such.
I think I remember him coming up and saying sorry.
No,
Like,
you guys.
yeah.
The next day, you guys all lined up in front of us, and each of you said sorry.
Hey, don't say that on the podcast. Hey,
And we
Chad,
thought
edit
it
that
was
out.
It was very
We ain't
Asian.
bitches,
We
man.
were
Very
so,
Asian.
like, we were like, dude, this is crazy. We didn't mean for it to be. You guys all went, hey, sorry, man. Hey, sorry. Like a baseball game. At the end.
Oh,
Hey,
usually
honestly-
when you say good game, he's like, hey, yeah, sorry.
It was like the next day.
That's how
Like,
nice the choreo scene is, man.
for real.
You guys are used to
Damn.
boys choreo scenes. We're like, shit, we fucked up.
Yeah.
man."
I'm like, I got a text message from their leader, dude. I gotta.
That's the funny thing is, I didn't even know for sure till now that you're the one behind that. I just texted.
No,
you
it was
because I had your
Ben.
number.
I'm just covering for him.
Sorry, guys. My
Very
bad,
Ben thing
my
to
bad.
do.
So,
My beat.
Well, you know what's funny is in my recollection of this though, that message was not at voting. So we had this whole thing, and that happened later again at voting then, because this was earlier in the
maybe.
season.
Oh, this
Because it
is
was the
early-
way social media was happening. Because I remember we had just made the Kinjaz IG, like because Kinjaz was not a thing.
Whoa.
So we're like, we should make
Wow.
IG. We're going on a TV show. It's like real, right? And then once we made our IG, because I just remember that's how this like momentum started getting built. It was the dialogue on social media. There's even this
Right.
fan video about like that super analyze it with a spreadsheet. I don't know if you guys seen it.
Spreadsheet?
Yes, dude. You remember? There's a
Yeah,
guy
I made
that
the
added-
Ben, you did that too, huh? He's covering again for you?
Wasn't me.
Well, you can look it up on
Ben
YouTube. There's like a Kinjaz social media strategy on ABDC and Quest, and they like analyze and break shit down. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, we didn't really have a strategy.
No. I mean,
Somewhat.
our strategy
Somewhat, let's
crumbled
be
when
honest.
Rudy hurt himself. Like,
No, I mean, we did pre-film a lot of stuff that I was going to post around those times. At least I
Oh
pitched
yeah,
it.
we had content.
Yeah, like I had content ready before we went on the show to
Mhm.
post at the time.
I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna spit this out, but I remember being like in a competitive nature, being like, "Wait, does Quest get to refilm something?" I don't. Does anybody remember? What
Oh
we're
yeah,
talking about?
because we would hear music play twice. Like, yo,
Just hell
did
yeah.
they get like a second go around? Like we only got one.
I don't remember.
oh no, no. I
I'm-
think I remember one of the episodes we did do it twice when we all dressed up as girls.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we-
episodes.
Yeah,
I think
week 3 we fucked up hard. We should have got sent home.
Did not everyone do it twice that day?
No.
I think it was.
I remember that it was a very special thing that you guys were refilming, and it was something for my young and ignorant. Or I'm covering for Ben. Ben was like complaining about it. He was like, "Did they get a refilm on Ben? Chill, bro. Chill. They're homies."
We got to reshoot. We got to reshoot.
No, I think it was, or at least my understanding, that it was our first round was so bad that
The first half was fire.
yeah, that
the second half
was
was
like
terrible.
no, trust me, it's a decent set. We need to get that for TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was my
they-
understanding.
They meshed together our first half and second half.
Oh, they did?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Wow.
Our first half of the show
Interesting.
was the first one.
Yeah,
But
so
we
young
legit-
competitive version of obviously it's like
Yeah.
what the
Oh,
fuck?
yeah.
Older version like nobody gives a fuck. Obviously, I would do that. It was my TV show. I'm producing
Right,
it.
right.
Get the best fucking footage
Yeah.
for sure.
As far as like in a weird way, it's like as far as the competition went, I think there was like we all kind of got played because it was never about us anyway. It was about
Yeah.
promoting the VMAs.
Right.
100%.
So like if you really,
happen?
and I think that was like we were just pawns on a chessboard at which we thought we were
100%.
queens and kings.
1,000%.
But-
It's a commercial.
Yeah, and I think we didn't even know that because every show that we've done up till then was not about promoting anything but the cruise. So I think we were so used to that we forgot that it's in the fucking title. America's Best Dance Crew. Road to the VMAs. Like it has nothing. So I think it's weird.
Yeah, I thought VMAs meant your own Vegas show.
Oh no, you guys wait, you guys don't even know. We weren't even invited to the VMAs. We just got to do the red
No.
carpet.
Yeah.
Even though we won, because the winners got to go to the VMAs, they kept saying that like winners get to go to the VMAs.
Yeah.
We didn't get invited. We just
Wow.
Yeah.
we found out at the end of the
it's
red
like,
carpet
what?
when they said
Love
you
it.
can go home now, and we're like, huh?
That was
It
the
feels
roast.
so good to be old and just air out all the fucked up shit that these networks do. Like,
Nappy
what
tabs.
the fuck?
Shout out Nabs, we love you though.
We love that.
We do.
No love.
We do.
No
though.
love.
We love you when you
You
keep
can
it
play
real.
it, yeah.
Not hell, I'll put on blast.
Yeah, he'll be laughing.
Boy be laughing at all this shit.
I think one sad thing though is I remember there were these rumors that I think production was spreading where I think we had our manager at the time record our rehearsal footage so that we can review it so we can see which things to fix. But I think they were telling people that we were recording other people's rehearsals so we can like change or something.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, and then we were like, yo, like, first of all, no, you're wrong. And like, second of all, it's like, what the hell? You know? And
I
then,
remember that.
and it felt like, I
Yeah.
felt like after a certain day, we went into that, waiting room in the back and
Yeah.
the air felt different from the other three.
Yeah, we were like, what?
Yeah, and I was
Dude.
so confused. And I think way later on,
Oh.
Pac told me or something. And I was like, yo, that's kind of messed up. And I sure...
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, sometimes production, they get bored, so they want gossip, they want some stuff, and I think it was just that. But
No, I think it was racism because was your guy? No, think about it. Hear me out. Hear me out. Was the guy filming for your guys behind the scenes Filipino or look like Eris? Because if they're both Asian, they probably both look like the same person. So someone's like, "Oh, the same Asian person recording everybody." But no, it's just like, no, we just all have an Asian BTS dude.
Damn, that's deep.
Yo, that's a...
I thought Eris was Bean.
I'm just saying, we got raped.
Not
by
even-
Eris.
not even-
Who was your guys' BTS guy?
Oh, Bean. No. That's
John Sheen.
John Sheen.
I'm telling you, it probably just
John
looks like
Sheen,
the
Bean,
same
and
guy
Eris.
filming. Or the whole time Eris was really filming, everybody's like, "Yeah, here you go. We are heroes. We're gonna get you." Yeah, you forgot they were on the show. Yeah, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing for Ben.
Ben, you're so jacked, bro. Ben, you're so mean.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Damn, dude. That's
My
Did
God.
you guys feel like that last season actually did anything for Quest? Like, did that propel like some? Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we got $100,000.
Well, yeah. Mine at the end of sure. Yeah. You guys got prize money. All right, you guys got some money.
No,
But,
but
like-
I think our whole reason for doing it, like when everyone was a solid no, I don't want to do the show.
Mhm.
Someone just said, I don't know if it was you or you.
It was Hawk.
It was
Yeah.
Hawk. Hawk said,
Because we were so
Hawk
against it.
goes, well, why don't we do it just so we can make dope shit?
It was that quote that lived. We were like, "Oh fuck," because we really didn't want to do it.
Yeah, we were like,
But
oh,
Hawk
yeah.
said that.
There were so many reasons why not to, like, business-wise, brand-wise,
Yeah.
it didn't make any
Laziness-wise.
sense. Yeah. But I feel like when you shed all of that, just super simply, it's like, let's just have an excuse to make dope shit. That's
That's
it.
so funny because I feel like we were like low key the opposite. I remember there was one time we were like at the Kinjaz Dojo. We had just like raised an indie go. We opened this dojo. We're like, fuck ABDC. We're done with dance competition. We just got an arcade. We're like playing Street Fighter with each
Exactly
other.
what
and
you're
shit
gonna
like
say
that.
right now. I know exactly.
Right?
the
And then
moment.
like Ben checks social media, he walks up, he's like, yo, NBC's throwing World of Dance.
And honestly, all of us were like, fuck.
And it's because all the other reasons that you weren't going to do it were the reasons why we're like, we should do it. Like, all the business, it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. We should totally do this, right? And we're like, we don't want to make dope shit.
This is perfectly
Yeah, the opposite.
Oh my god.
That's how dope you guys were, huh? You guys knew
Well,
that.
I guess we know what the winning mentality was.
But that's like ABDC essentially. Like I'm confident enough to say that's our perfect turf. Like that's where
Oh,
we
yeah.
are the
Yeah.
best. So it's like
Yeah.
we'll do the show, we'll kill it. Afterwards, we'll have nothing to fucking do.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
you guys are like for life. Like you always have like a nice business plan. We literally just will play video games like afterwards.
It's the
Like, we
opposite.
don't have we're like those guys that we fucking suck until the moment we get called out, and then we're good for like just whatever the length of season is.
But that's it, because we haven't made anything without
And then we
those
just
shows.
go, all right, guys.
But I
mean-
swear, even now, probably till we die, like put us
Yeah.
on a
Till we die.
competitive
Yeah.
situation. I'm sure we
Yeah.
would never lose that shit.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know,
Wow.
I know.
I
Yeah.
love
Oh, those
that.
shows?
That's where we
Oh, yeah,
function.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like-
No,
that's-
just
only because that's
if
where
we have an
found
enemy
ourselves, you know?
to target, yeah, it'll be really difficult to find like another group or gathering that would go so hard as like us because we're just so fucking focused on that shit.
I feel like we learned a lot the first season when we went against Beat Freaks, because they were like an unsilent, like, we really legit pushed ourselves to make better shit. And I feel like when we went on this season, IME was a big part, but also you guys were a massive part in inspiring us to make and push ourselves higher. Because it was like the standard was so high, but also it's like, that I feel like was the toughest, I think, that season of any show I've ever done. But that second season was so difficult because it was like you guys were a massive part of like, we can't do anything past the legit. Like some of the judges have been watching us for so long. And if you guys come on, like that was honestly, no offense to Jabba, I think it would have been a better show with you guys on it, mainly because people know what they're probably going to get from Jabba at the time, where no one had any like, expectation or standard of what they were gonna get from Kinjaz. And I knew that when my uncle, who his name is Dominic too, was like, Kinjaz should have won. And like, I was like,
Shout out Dominic. I bought my Jeep Grand Cherokee from him, by the way.
And, but like,
Oh, yeah.
Ryan, you know that like,
Yeah,
Uncle Dom
yeah.
is a legit fan of Kinjaz, and
Yeah,
he
is.
always asks about you, by the way. Shout out Uncle Dom, but also fuck you for not being a fan of Quest.
Hey, family members are always the harshest critics,
But
though.
that goes
They
along
keep
it
hundo.
because Uncle Dom fucking loves us.
Yeah,
so if
he-
he loves us that much and is still willing to say, "Yo, can you just fucking smoke you guys?" It's like, damn, dude.
Yeah, it was like that type of, is that the type of enemy you're talking about as far as like, oh, they're like, it's essentially us, but how did you look at it, Hawk?
Oh, just like any like goal oriented
Yeah.
when we can use that as an excuse to defeat, then it's like,
Ah,
I feel
got
like
it.
we put everything maybe too much aside that we just focus on that, you know.
Because that's kind of like, if you look at our careers, we were fucking born on TV dance competition. Like that's our first fucking thing we ever did.
And
Right.
met
So
through.
like, if you put us in that realm, that's where we're oddly the most confident. I'm least
Yeah.
confident. I'm less confident at a fucking jam with 10 people there. But if you put me on TV,
True,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna smoke everybody. Like, and I'm never like that normally. But then if I'm there in that moment, yeah.
What do you think that, like, where does that come from? That kind of confidence? Because normally you would think if like the lower the stakes, it's like, oh yeah, like I got nothing to lose. But then when you're like broadcasting in front of the world,
I
That-
think,
you know
I don't
what
know
I'm
if
saying?
it's this for you guys, but that question for me is a big part of it is not about the dance. A big part of it is being free on camera. Like, I feel like we were so comfortable on like being ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
On camera or without, it didn't matter. So that's probably like when I got naked, it wasn't a big deal to us because I would do that with just us three.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like
Yeah, because I always am naked all the time.
Yeah.
It's just us.
the only difference is I don't have a Ryan dick and a Hawk dick in my hand and mouth.
What?
This audience knows I don't swing that way. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But I
Sack
think-
is a really good word right now.
Hell no. I ain't gonna fucking live this up.
It's also a big part is that we didn't spend as much time watching the shows as much as we did being on them because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
exist that much before
Right,
we did.
right,
True.
yeah.
So you think season 1, like prior to that, what fucking Dance 360?
Wade Robson.
Wade Robson
Yeah.
Like that was the only thing really, and then so it was almost like that whole chapter of like dance being on TV started with us. It just
Yeah.
felt like we were more on the base of it, so it felt more controlled. Like we didn't feel like a slave
Yeah.
to it as much.
I feel like we didn't even understand the production or TV side
No, I was pretty ignorant.
until way after, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's why we had fans, like, because we were just just doing us.
Yeah.
And there happened to be cameras, you know. We
Right.
didn't understand what it was.
Well, I think you guys straight up, like, you guys also have such a unique experience. I feel like people think that if you're a dope dancer, you win dance TV shows. And that's like, it's a different skill set. I'm not saying that's not a part of it, but I just think it's so much more, right?
Yeah.
And so the more experience points you gain by doing more dance TV shows, right? I think it's so different. And I feel like, because I feel like we felt like that going into like NBC World of Dance. You know what I mean? Because like I remember when we went in, we felt seasoned going into World of Dance, and like just the little decisions we made with our timing and like straight up things that we could be more lax on. And by lax, like we worked our fucking asses off, but there was things where we're like, you know, when you realize like how production work and all that shit, you're not like, you know, on your toes. You're kind of like, oh, they're not keeping track of us. Oh, Ving has something important to go to. They're not gonna notice that Ving's not here today.
It's just
Ving
another
fucking wasn't
Asian
there.
guy.
It's another Asian guy. They're not keeping track of us. And Ving, so we all got to take turns being like, yo, there's fucking 14 of us, man. 16 of us. Is literally like, they're not
There's
gonna
no way.
fucking
Sometimes
notice
people would just like
them.
take a nap in the room, and then
Yeah.
you know when we like
They
get
could take
called back.
sick days, you know what I mean?
Scary.
But that's dance show experience,
Yeah,
right?
it
Those
is,
are
yeah.
those unique crevices that if you've never done a dance show, you're on your best behavior. You know, you got this footage of yourself on TV to all these like non-dancer judges being like, oh, yes, because you're so like, it's your first time. And then like, as you're like seasoned, you're like, we know why we're here. We're just here to do this. Cool, I'm glad
Trying
you
to sell
said that.
T-shirts, you know?
You know
Fuck
what I
it,
mean?
dude.
And so I think it's also just like knowing that like the dance TV show game is even its own weird, unique game.
It's its own universe.
Yeah,
It's its own
yeah,
world.
yeah. Its own
'Cause-
skill set.
Because we've
It's-
seen lots of great dancers not get on the show.
Absolutely.
You're just like,
Oh, yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
that not
Yeah.
happened for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
But you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's like the way I look at Twitch. It's like he probably did almost every dance show that we talked about, even the ones before. So you can
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I feel like I look at him and I think of like this guy got second place at every show, but has won it live. And I think a big part of it is because it's Twitch. You know, and it's just like just like Kinjaz. It's the it's about literally
We
the
killed that second place spot, dude. We killed that.
The bounce back,
Best runners
baby.
up, dude.
we know
Best
that like,
runners
and
up.
even in those
I
shows,
hold
like,
on to first runner-up still.
let him know,
Gives me
baby.
something.
Because at the end of the day, it's like it is a reality TV show, and realistically, in all these shows, like Travis Wall got second, and these amazing dancers, like I mean, fuck, I got 8th. What'd you get? None of us even got not even close.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things that it's like I do believe that it's the human being and the essence of the actual talent, not just the talent, which makes you guys really fucking cool. Because I feel like that's like one thing about you guys, that it's like your talent and who you are as people. It has always been so genuine and so loyal to your belief on how, like, kind of how the community is too, but like the superstars coming together and always holding and always sticking to what you guys do no matter what. And then also being very brilliant at it, at least for me, is why, for us, I'm sure too, is why we're huge fans of everything you guys did and why it was so scary to go against you guys the second season.
Yeah, it was
So
actually scary. That's
No,
crazy
that's
to
crazy.
think now that you thought you were like in a bad position jumping in that show.
Oh,
Everybody was
1000%.
fucking scared of you guys.
1000%.
I don't know if I feel like super, they have to realize that, yeah, they had been scared too, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, because
I feel like just every episode mattered, and that was stressful.
Yeah.
I think
for
even
sure.
till this day, that was the least sleep
that's
I've
true.
ever gotten.
Yo, if you look at photos, this is our thing. Kinjaz, like at least everyone who did ABDC is the skinniest ever.
Yeah.
Dude, been on
I
cocaine
bet.
like all year.
Oh my, like that was
I wish I had that same
That's for the
vibe.
YouTube.
Get that audio. Get that audio.
That's for the YouTube right there.
sorry about
Yo, there was certain
I
days
don't
where
get it.
legit it was like 30 minutes
Yo,
sleep, and it was
1000%.
like, and then you have to
1000%.
check on camera,
Yeah.
like it's like
That was-
what?
all for Road to the VMAs.
That's so stupid.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
man.
shout out Kesha.
Yo, but after one of the I think it was the bench piece we did. I don't know if it was for you guys too, but right after we performed, we all came off stage, and no words, we just all started crying, and it was so weird. Like nothing like that has happened ever.
Yeah.
And I feel like sharing that experience just as a group was something that you can't really. I don't know. I feel like just life-wise, it's so hard
1000%.
to
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
across
And
that.
you
You
can't
know?
describe it to anybody for them to understand unless they were also in a similar situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
You
so
know,
weird.
I think people, you know, when you see people crying at the, the results episode of these shows, you're not crying because you lost. You're crying because you're just like, I just killed myself for the past whatever
Yeah, you
amount
didn't
of time.
realize it.
Yeah, I mean, all of us had the same experience.
Yeah.
When we, after we went away and did our debriefing, all of us had our moments. It wasn't that like we're sad that we lost. It's
I was
like,
sad we
yo.
I'm speaking for Chad, who wasn't on the show with us.
Hey, you
but-
know what's funny is when you guys wrote that thing online about, oh, they have D-trix, so they're gonna win, and we got all like heard about it. I remember we had a meeting, and I was like, who do you think like wrote that shit? And then Feng was like, that was fucking Anthony. Because Feng knows Anthony. I was like, are you sure? Like, I don't think Anthony would write something like that. And Feng's all, you don't know Anthony.
Oh my god.
Yo, props to Faye.
Yeah.
I love
He
it.
just knows,
That's
man.
probably having a guy on your team that was once on yours.
Yeah.
I just want to let you guys know that I have nothing to say.
I was dying.
Oh my god.
So this is the part in the episode where we start wrapping it up.
Yes. I
been a
mean,
while,
well,
you know?
Wait.
like with all that said, I mean,
Can we ask a question?
ask a
After
question.
you guys, because like in the actual studio, there were so many Kinjaz fans in the audience. Like that last episode, after we won, did you guys like? Were you mad at us?
I have like one story. Like my first. No.
Yeah, come on.
No,
Now the
it's not,
podcast
but I'm
starts.
sorry, it's not fucking juicy. It's just real. Sorry. Sorry, it's not about anger. It's more about I don't know. I'll just share. The clearest memory for me is that, and I feel like if like Quest, like you guys thrive on competition, I feel like perhaps, I don't know how to put this. Maybe it's bounce back, and just whatever that is for our journey. But I'll never forget for some reason. Well, two-pronged. On a personal level, I remember I cried, and the reason I cried actually wasn't because I was sad. I actually cried when I heard, and I was like, oh shit. And then I looked in the audience, and I saw like Arnell, Junlin, John Shi, and I know that they spent so many hours making like promo material for, like they worked so hard to support us, and I felt like we let our friends down. So it was in that moment when I was like, oh shit, all right, Quest One, cool. And then I like looked in the audience, and when I scanned and then I saw like our squad, I was like, oh shit. And then that like fucking like took over. But then I feel like that feeling, we went to a hotel room, me and Ant. It was me, Ant, and Julin. Julin's like our costume designer.
Yeah.
And she was randomly there, just like for some reason, like we just walked back, and because me and Ant were roomies in the hotel, and then we were just like pretty sad, and then that literally turned into like, all right, how do we bounce back? How do we maximize? Like, this is literally like we can just sulk in this shit. And it was literally when we came home from the studio and we're from the filming, and we were literally just sitting in the room. And I remember Julian's just quiet because she's just like doesn't know what to say. Bless her heart, we love you, Julian. And it was just me, and we were just like looking at each other, we're like, how do we fucking bounce back? And we were literally like, damn, like what would we have done if we won the show? And we were like, we'll fucking open up a dance studio. And we're like, we have to do a crowdfunding now. If we do it in like 3 months, who the fuck's gonna give a shit about Kinjaz?
That's fucking cool.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
So
that's
like
good,
in
though,
that
to be
moment,
able to-
so I know timing's everything, and the way, life happens, like perhaps we wouldn't have known it. We wouldn't have even got a deeper relationship with our fans through the crowdfunding if we had just won. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think that's just perspective, but it's how it ended up, right? And so like from that, we were literally like, all right, we should crowdfund, and we have to move now because this is the only time that like we're still in any conversation, or else that's it. And it was only through that like we were so galvanized from that like pain to be juiced up in a way too. Like we needed to be juiced up. Maybe we wouldn't have crowdfunded it with the same aggressive nature
right.
without that kind of feeling, right? But it was that feeling that was like, all right, we have to move. And it was through Dojo, our Dojo performance, when all these things just started actualizing. Like when we act, to me, my most, like Icy Fire was also crazy special in a different way because it was like the end.
Yeah.
But to me, Kinjaz Dojo, the panel set, was the most magical feeling for me. Because that was when I think we were still figuring out what the Kinjaz voice was. You know, we were like, what are we?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I think that like, that was when we were like, this is fucking us. Like, this is what we like, but this is how we mix it of this, whatever you want to call it. And I think when that all clicked and we just had that feeling, and I think even for our crewmates, that was the show that our crewmates was like, yeah, I had chills. I had like a fucking spiritual experience, like watching that. I think that was the thing that we felt of like, yo, like John Shee made the Kinjaz Dojo logo for our studio for that performance. All these things really happened. Yeah, it happened so fast, right? It was
the
just
Dojo
like
was a concept before it was a studio.
Yeah, it was just like, what can we do as like a creative? And yeah, that was spawned as a creative. We're like, John Shee, can you, like again, all our like homies outside of the show that are putting in time for us. And he was like, all right, and he just whipped it up, and we're like, okay, cool, we got it. And we're just going. We couldn't even acknowledge how much time went into that, right? But then when we finished the show, we realized like we have a logo, we have a name for the studio, we have like it's like set up through this.
Yeah.
What else should we call it? We just had a thing. The main branded thing in the whole show was the Kinjaz Dojo. That should be our studio. And so I think
And a fuck ton of fans who needed a call to action because we just lost, and they were like, we just supported these guys and they lost. Maybe we should do something.
I think honestly, like to be able to notice that though, I feel like that's a skill too. Because
that's what makes you guys superstars.
100%.
That's the Twitch thing I was talking about earlier. It's like he kept going and he did things that were greater and greater than made him a winner. And I think that's what I see in you guys is that like, because you guys use that energy and that to not quit and just stop. You use it to begin. And I think that's what makes a superhero. And I feel like that's why we commend you guys so much, because we don't know how to fucking make any.
We can't fucking do that shit.
We cannot make a company in different studios. I think we might have tried. We had a thought, and we're like, nah, we're fucking no.
It's so hard for us to prioritize it. I think we just can't care as much. Yeah, that's where it's at. We can't care enough. I think to be like, to
start a movement that literally
everything that's like extracurricular from like or should stem from dance. Like someone would be like, hey, you guys want to make your own apparel line? We're like, yeah, sure. And then we try it. We made one pair of pants. We forgot it existed.
Yeah.
Somebody made us a Quest app. We got a fucking app developer. We didn't even pay anything. They spent the money to make us a Quest
hella
app.
expensive.
I fucking forgot it existed.
We're like, oh fuck.
I barely even remember that.
See, we had a Quest app.
Hella forgot.
You know how much? I'm not even gonna talk about it because I know Big Chad. That shit was expensive.
How much was it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might as well say.
Yeah. All right. Well, to make any app, at least to work, it starts with at least $250,000. But they were making apps for a lot of influencers. Niga had one.
Yeah.
Lily had one, and Quest had one, and we did not promote it at all.
They spent $250,000 for that.
For an app to start an app to at least get the coding correctly, you're talking at least $1 million to promote it.
But it's like copy and paste for different people too, right?
Did you hear how I listed? That was like the only 3 that got it at that time. Niga, Higa, Lily, and us. And Lily is like the Elvis of fucking Indian people.
What?
I'm just saying they're so popular that they gave us an app and we didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, so that's
it's a big deal.
That's why we respect you guys, because you're
you guys are good at that. Yeah.
Again, we can only win ABDC.
You guys have
But
proved
rest
that.
assured, we will
Prove
win.
that, yeah.
Do know that there's a reason we didn't do World Dance.
Yeah, we can't win World Dance.
Neither can we.
You saw what we did to stick it to them when they were live shows.
Yeah, the wrong
You
way.
see, we don't understand how to fight companies.
But I think what's dope is like recognizing what your guys as a crew, what your guys' strength is. Like, and thank you on our side, receiving that kind of love is like, yeah, that's dope, man. And we appreciate that. And we kick that same love back to you guys, because on an individual level, you guys are doing amazing things individually, opening up salons, freaking hosting type beat battles for Complex.
At your own freaking
you know what I'm saying?
photo
Like,
studio.
That Jay Chris one.
Shout out
Jay Chris.
And like, I just, it's
They're all
been
entrepreneurs. Like straight
exactly.
Up. You guys have all
and that is not that is
Hey,
Yeah, man. What is he doing?
I was waiting for
Dietrich is working on the
the refrigerator and restocking it.
Wait, did you do that? Haven't you?
I'm working on see the hat.
That was fucking funny, man.
Oh my god.
And that's the pipe.
Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. Shout out to Kinjaz.
Oh my
Best ending.
Hey, honestly, let's just end it there.
Oh my god.
No, but real talk, like, we can talk forever. We were already talking for like 2 hours before we started rolling on here. Dude, we love you guys first and foremost, Quest, man, and you know, before we even started rolling, just as I was hearing your guys' history, like individually, like how far everybody goes back, it's crazy. And then obviously sharing, you know, the common spaces of the TV shows, but then also just growing as crews. And bro, we just appreciate your guys' time.
Yeah.
And congrats on everything, man. And we love and for those who are just tuning in, if you guys don't know, these guys, each three of them have their individual episodes. If you're curious, go back and listen to those previous episodes so you can hear their individual stories. But it's just so fun, like, just as crews and as homies to just like do this. We completely went off script with this episode, but we feel like that's just the way to do it.
I'm down to do a whole season. With
Yo,
that.
we can go
So many
stories. Yo,
I know
like,
we're
this is
I know we're
nothing.
ending, but was there any questions you're like, fuck, I really wanted to ask this one before we leave off?
well, I mean,
like
I
a
got
deep
a
one that's
lot.
gonna make us like battle right now.
See, you guys invited him, okay? Just so you know. Just so you know.
He's your crewmate, and
that's
you
what
brought
you
him
are.
back.
He is.
Hey, if it happens once, it can happen.
Like I
again.
said, Eris wasn't available.
He actually wasn't asked him.
Yeah.
My face hurts. Oh my
Right,
gosh.
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Man, no, this is a freaking great time, you guys. And you know, just to give our audience, you know, Movement in the Shadows, the show that we do, we want to leave something with our audience that they can kind of chew on and take home. We obviously have
With
gone
substance
through,
and inspirational.
yeah, we're trying to find it. We're trying to find it in this one. We all just came through a crazy freaking 18 plus months, right? You know, 2020 to now 2021, and we know each of you guys are doing individual things. So out of a pandemic, something that the world, at least those who are alive now, has probably never seen, how have you guys been able to kind of maintain, you know, whether it be just mental health to physical health to, like, you know, focusing on the future? Like, give us just one little thing from each of you guys. Like, what have you guys kind of taken away from this crazy time?
Oh, I mean, I think it just comes to show that everything is going to keep changing, you know, and maybe last year was more drastic than we expected, but I feel like we all have to evolve and, you know, keep changing, keep adapting, or else we're going to be left behind. So, I mean, it's going to be different, you know, on individual terms, but I feel like if everyone can do that, that's just the way to survive.
Love it.
Good. I think just take big ass risks anytime you're on a crossroad where you have a chance to do it. Just take it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, if pandemic ties anything, it's that. It's that by far. I think even though it's a sucky ass time, but like still, it's a great climate to try something new. It's really great to be out of your comfort zone, and just above all, just check in with your homies. Check in with your homies as much as you can.
Yeah, I feel like if you're listening to this, or like you're here right now and you got through it, I think you already got through it. So it's like you can now do anything if you're able to get through your own thoughts in your own brain of being alone, especially for people that are used to talking too much like myself. The chatter alone in your house for that long doesn't stop. It's just internal and annoying inside. So I feel like, I don't know, for me right now, I just feel like it's like I'm really lucky to get through that, but also surround myself with people that are similar, and then just enjoy life. Because it's like, if you can get through that, I feel like you can honestly get through a lot of stuff and adapt. I think things are happening so fast, and if you can't adapt, then you can't progress. So if you can adapt to those things, and even if it might be shitty, Quest taught me that if you're able to make play in those times of shittiness, no matter how tough they are, you have a superpower. So yeah, just play and have fun.
Love it. Those are gems, man. Again, Quest, dude, you guys are homies. We'll probably figure out how to keep this thing going somehow because this is just something that we all kind of needed, you know, and it's so fun. And dude, congrats to you guys. America's bestest dance crew. And you know, like, man, much respect to you guys. And it's cool.
You guys are laughing, but you guys are like low-key for real, like the most celebrated dance crew TV show stars in the world for all time history. It's disgustingly true. I love
it. Oh my god.
That's all we can do, bro.
But hey, we do fucking respect y'all so much, but love y'all as individuals and homies. You know, so deep. You guys fucking live together, by the way. Fucking Ryan and Mike live together.
Yeah, I think most people don't know that.
Ryan and Mike live together. Just like most people don't know about Ryan's injury when he lived at that house that I'm not gonna bring up right now, but
my ass.
Yeah, your ass.
Next time.
Yeah.
Something to do with Ryan's ass.
Something to do with Ryan's
And the Eskimo Brothers. Next week.
Wow.
But the point is, thank y'all for coming on. We fucking love you guys. You guys are like remarkably actually decent human beings compared to everything that we see online. You know, I think if there's anything to add to bringing like officially from a formal perspective, you know, quest into, you know, like this space with the Kinjaz and all that stuff, because everybody knows that if it wasn't Fang, it should have been me on Quest Crew. Why is it funny?
Wait, why do you say that about every dance crew? Chad walking, Anthony has a grudge as to why he hasn't been a part of every dance crew.
Maybe I'm not satisfied with Kinjaz. But point is, we fucking love you guys. You guys are honestly, like fucking better dudes than you guys are dancers.
Hella bad. We have to make up for it somehow.
No, but thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We already know our fans love you guys too. You know what I mean? And all of our journeys and the history that we won't even dare share on camera is even more rich. And you know, maybe when we get older and we give less fucks, more of our fans will be able to really hear the stories about what makes us tick. But thank you guys for coming on here, sharing, you know, that journey and recollecting everything that happened, not just with ABDC, but with you know, your guys' origins, you guys' history, being able to like talk about the sincerity of how things went down and even discover new things, you know, with the D-trix' story with Quest and all that, you know. And I know a lot of fans and viewers out there are going to get a nice check and a lesson on things like ego and ridiculousness. But, you know, I think all of us have been young at one point. All of us, you know, I'm speaking for Ben. Ben's made a lot of mistakes that I want to look out for. But the point is, you know, we've grown from it. We've come to learn from each other. We've constantly been able to push each other and inspire each other. And I, for one, am very honored and humbled to have you guys come into to the basement, to the very. Kinjaz is killing it so hard that we evolved the Kinjaz podcast and are now in our room, in our apartment. But
Office.
yeah, office, headquarters, HQ.
There we go.
HQ.
Welcome to the Kinjaz podcast, HQ.
Anthony's house.
Chad's
Really?
like, come on, man.
Chad's trying to wrap it up.
Yeah,
No, but
guys-
for real, thank
are
you
the
guys.
bomb, dude.
Yes, thank you guys for coming out. And for those of you tuning in, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome to the Kinjaz podcast.
Damn, I feel sorry for them. This is the first time.
I know this might not be. Don't judge every episode of this one. This is a very special anomaly, but obviously a great one. If you guys haven't already, subscribe, like us, follow us on Instagram, Kinjaz Podcast, cast with a K. And if you really dig us, leave us a review, leave us a 5-star rating, all that good stuff.
Buy Kinjaz noodles on Amazon and or
Kinjaz
Costco.
noodles.
in Texas.
They're so bomb. They're so good.
Costco,
We're waiting for you to
7-Eleven.
plug us this whole time, dude.
I ate my back. I ate it in 3 days. The whole thing you guys sent.
Wait,
I didn't
no.
know.
Repeat that, but actually say the tag in it or hashtag.
Oh, my
or whatever.
bad. When I first got my case of Kinjaz noodles, I ate it within the first 48 hours. And then I ran out, so I need more. I can't wait to get my hands on another case. Hashtag ad.
And where can you get them now?
Winco. No. Sorry, that's the hood one in Sacramento. Texas. You can get them in Texas specifically at the warehouse of Costco. You can get them in Hawaiian.
Yeah, I see
Yes.
that. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, you can also get them in
Hawaii.
Hawaii 7-Elevens, which still doesn't help us out in Van Nuys.
I don't know how to wrap this show, guys. I think we're done.
Anthony,
Hey,
it's
it's just end.
I
It's
think
just
we're
end.
done.
Just hard
Yeah. Hard cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be. There's no way.
Wouldn't be a 3-hour episode.
It's like
No,
a nice
really.
ending. Good.
yeah.
Nice ending.
Yeah, really, that's funny. Dude. Hey, just fucking cut, dude.
Everyone empty.
I got nothing.
Nothing.